This is the one and only tripod that every solo creator needs. I think I've made my point. So this is the Tribex hydraulic carbon fiber tripod made by Small Rig in collaboration with Potato Jet. And the moment that I heard that Gene was the brains behind this tripod, I knew that this is gonna be the best tripod out there because, well, Gene, he's amazing. He's a fantastic filmmaker, and he's not only just a filmmaker, but as well a content creator who understands this world of YouTube. So I knew that the features that he'd put into this tripod will be perfect for solo creators like me. Because I don't know if you're like me, but I really struggle with using tripods. I find that tripods are just slow and clunky, having to open and adjust each leg, that I ended up just not using it, and I instead just use something like a Joby Gorilla Pod. But I've often felt like it would be nice to have a tripod that would be actually easy to use as a solo content creator. Because with a tripod, you can get really nice angles and frames and compositions for your videos, but if it's gonna be too slow to use, you end up just not using it. At least that's been the case for me. So when I found out about this tripod, the fact that literally with just this clamp right here, you can adjust the height, lower, all three legs all at the same time, not only just the height, but as well do the leveling, I knew that this tripod was gonna be a game changer for me. Beyond the super speedy hydraulic system, Gene's clearly thought about every single feature that a video creator would ever want in a tripod. Not only is it super fast to open up, but as well, it's really versatile, being able to put it on all sorts of different surfaces and levels, no matter what the angle. You have these little bottom feet that move around easily depending the angle of the ground or the surface that you're putting the tripod on. And as well, you can remove them, and you have two spikes for grip if, for example, you're out shooting the snow or on ice. On the tripod, you have a really smooth fluid head for the pan and tilt shots that you're gonna do. And it's really nice that you can add resistance for both pan and tilt, and you can as well lock it then whenever you want. Some tripods don't have the lock feature, which is really frustrating because then you just gotta crank up the resistance really high in order to kind of lock it, but then you don't always remember where you had the resistance at when you go back to shooting. So this is nice where you can set your resistance, but then as well lock and unlock the tripod when you want to pan or tilt or just have it locked off. The Tribex tripod as well, super sturdy. I did a little unscientific test by, jumping on the tripod and letting it hold up my weight. And I'm not gonna disclose my weight, but let's say it's around the 80 kilogram mark, and the tripod did just fine. This tripod does as well have counterbalance, so for example, if you are tilting the camera forwards, it's not gonna just drop forwards, rather it's got counterbalance to hold it in place. You have settings of 1, 2, and 3 depending on what camera weight you're using. So setting number 1 is for mirrorless cameras, setting number 2 is for compact cinema cameras, and then setting 3 would be for that really heavy rigged out cinema setup. For those heavy cinema setups, if you want that extra safety, there's as well a little hook where you can hang, sandbags or your camera backpack just to add some more weight to the tripod and keep it sturdy, especially in those windy conditions where you're out in Iceland or something. As well, with the Tribex tripod, you can get really high, to film above the crowd, or really low to get those nice angles for your shots. There's a real versatility with the range of shots that you can do with this tripod. When you're done shooting with the tripod, the clutch level can double up as a handle for easy transportation. Now here's where you can tell that Gene, a veteran content creator, really cooked up the best ideas to serve us well. First, you have a hidden tool at the bottom of the hook. You gotta love this little feature here. There's a little surprise latch with a tool in case you need to, tighten up your tripod plate or something like that, which is really handy because you don't always have it with you. And then when you're done, you just put it back in there and just... Having that tool always at hand is really practical. The tripod head as well has a whole bunch of quarter 20s where you can add different friction arms, for example, to hold up your script notes, or maybe you want to use your iPhone to film some BTS content. For example, if you want vertical and then have your camera shoot horizontal, or you could even attach a Insta360 camera to film just an overall BTS shot. There's so many options for what you can do with these quarter 20 screw holes. You also got the opportunity to use both drop-in plates from Manfrotto or DJI, which often people are using for gimbals, which is really great because with just a flick of a switch, it has an option to put a different kind of base plate in the tripod head. As well, in the tripod head, there's spots for extra screws, which is always handy because we always lose those screws and you're in trouble, so it's always great to have an extra set. But yeah, there's just so many practical features in this tripod that are really handy on the day-to-day use of shoots. So I've been shooting a lot of B-roll for a future video with this solo tripod setup. You guys want to see the B-roll? Okay, let me just first choose the grade, okay? Okay. That's better. Let me just... That's the one. Now, up until this point, I have mostly praised this tripod, and we are going to go into the downsides of the Tribex Carbon Fluid tripod. But first, we're going to talk about this episode's sponsor, and that's Artlist. Artlist has just released brand new LUTs on their platform to help us color grade. In order to use them, all you got to do is go to their website, go to the left-hand panel, and click LUTs. And from there, you're going to have a whole catalog of different high-quality LUTs to help you color grade your footage. In order to help you find the right LUT for your footage, there's sample footage at the top. So for example, if you know that the footage that you shot was shot on a cloudy day, look for a cloudy day shot in the sample footage. That way you can choose a LUT that best suits your footage. As well, you can search by style or tone to really dial in which kind of LUT you're looking for your footage. Once again, Artlist just continues to keep adding amazing tools for us creators to use on a daily basis. No longer are they just offering high quality music and sound effects, but really they're offering all the different kinds of assets we would ever need as a content creator. If you haven't yet signed up for Artlist, you can actually use the link in my description to get 2 months off and an additional 10% off because of their holiday sale for the Artlist Max plan. With that plan, you're gonna get access to everything, and I mean everything. That's the music, the sound effects, the cinematic stock footage, the voiceover AI, effects and plugins, and as well the brand new LUTs. So if you're a content creator who's looking up to level up your videos and as well speed up your whole workflow, I would highly recommend checking out Artlist by using the link in my description. It also does support my channel, so thank you in advance. All right, now to the downsides of the small rig Tribex Carbon tripod. If you have watched other reviews of this tripod, you've probably noticed creators like Gerald and Dunn talking about how the handle is a bit strange because when you press it closed, the legs open up, but it doesn't instantly stop then. It slowly opens, and then once it's fully opened, then it stays sturdy. So there might be moments where you press the lever and the legs open up and then you let go and you think it's gonna hold where you want it to stay, but it drops a little bit more. And I was aware of this before trying this tripod and I was ready for it, but one thing that I wasn't prepared was that when you're shooting outside in the cold, it's even slower. So when the weather is really warm, the delay for the lever to close up is not that bad. And you can actually pull it open like that quickly in order for the tripod to be locked in place. But when you're shooting in the cold, I noticed that it was quite a lot slower. So that is definitely one downside if you do live in a cold country and you want to test out this tripod. Keep that in mind. That might frustrate you a little bit. Another downside of this tripod that I did notice was that the feet of the tripod are kind of this weird plastic. They're not like rubbery, so I noticed that does slip around a little bit. So maybe that's one improvement for the future. And last, this tripod was pretty big and heavy. Now I understand why this tripod is on the heavier side because it's built to last and it's built to have quite heavy cinema rig setups. Now, maybe in the future, Small Rig could create another version of this tripod that would be particularly created for solo creators who travel or hiking and they want to have this same technology in just a smaller model. And perhaps this smaller model could as well be a little bit more affordable because right now the tripod does sell for $799, which is understandable because it's a really high quality tripod. And for someone who's a professional videographer, that's no big deal. But for someone who's just starting out or is a solo content creator, $799 for a tripod is a lot of money. So I would love to see in the future a more lightweight version of this tripod that's more affordable because I think then that would be the perfect solution for solo content creators. But yeah, those are my thoughts on this tripod. I would love to hear, what do you guys think? What are the features that you're most excited about? And do you guys have any concerns or suggestions? Because Small Rig or Gene, they might be reading the comments. So comment down below because I'd love to hear what you guys think, and we'll see you in next week's video.